XDC really reminds me of XLM. Now, why do I say that? It's because even though nothing I say is financial advice, when we take a look at XLM, usually I think the first thought that a lot of people think is that, hey, this is another alternative to XRP, right? I think a lot of people do think that way. However, people don't really consider XDC as that, but I do consider it as that, which is why it really does remind me of that. I'm not saying that XDC is going to defeat XLM in the long term. I'm not saying that XDC has more fans because it doesn't. I'm not saying that XDC, has greater exposure because, of course, the Stellar blockchain is very fantastic. XLM has a lot of fans. I'm not saying that XDC is, beating them in that department. But again, it just reminds me of XLM in a sense that it reminds me of this other viable alternative as opposed to something only like XLM, right? Because for the longest time possible, people only think, okay, XRP, XLM. But as of right now, I think XDC is beginning to have this validity. It's beginning to have its time to really shine. And I think that it's kind of no surprise, despite, the price not doing the best, along with a bunch of other altcoins and also Bitcoin in a sense, right? Even despite that, I do believe that it's beginning to gain its momentum because I think now people are beginning to understand that, hey, XDC is this very solid project, pretty much focused on the same things as XLM and XRP, but then at a way lower market cap. Why not, at least personally for me? Now, the way I take a look at it is that why is XDC at a fundamental level, right? Not just at a price or, alternative standpoint of view. Why is this very similar to XLM? Let me explain. It's because it's even been alleged that when it comes to, again, the XDC network, it is an enterprise-grade blockchain protocol that is purpose-built for global trade and finance. I mean, let's take a look at that statement right there. Purpose-built for global trade and finance. The global trade and finance market is predicted to reach up to $5 trillion in value by 2028, according to Mordor Intelligence. Again, this market is basically what Ripple and Stellar is focused on. Now, again, people may be thinking, oh yeah, but the Stellar blockchain's too good. But it doesn't mean that people won't be looking for other alternatives. Like, for instance, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu are proven meme coins that work. They do good, right? They are still going to have a viable future, in my opinion, but still people look for other alternatives that much like Pepe. So it's no different here, in my opinion. I think people naturally, a certain percentage are going to be looking for other alternatives, and XDC could theoretically be that due to its very similar nature and also amazing fundamentals. Now, not to mention, we take a look at something like what powers the XDC network. It's something called the XDC protocol. Now, the XDC protocol is very interesting in a sense that it has the ability to be integrated with internal legacy systems, like, for instance, Swift payment databases. We all know Swift is massive in the banking world. So this is, I think, a very big deal. Not to mention, when we take a look at the XDC protocol, it has the ability to integrate data into the blockchain using something called ISO 20022. Now, again, as I say this, I think it's beginning to become very evident as to why this is very similar to something like Stellar and even Ripple as well, in my opinion. Now, if we take a look at ISO 20022, why is this so crucial, especially for something like XDC? It's because, this is currently being used by many financial institutions from all around the world for inter-organizational data exchange. So it's something that's already up and running. It's not like something that is, a concept thing or anything like that. Again, it's already widely used. So the fact that, again, the XDC protocol, right, can integrate data into the blockchain utilizing something like that, that is a totally game changer type of move, in my opinion. I mean, that's very impressive, really. Now, some people may be thinking that, oh yeah, Stellar is still better, Ripple and all this. Well, again, in terms of the fans, the hype, I totally understand that. But what I'm just saying is that, again, XDC does remind me of XLM in a sense that, again, by nature, feels very similar, but then at a much lower point. The way you take a look at it is that when it comes to XDC, it kind of feels like as if it's XLM, but way back in time. Back when XLM was at a much lower point. That's just the way I take a look at it. Now, people may be thinking that, okay, the XDC network is really bad. Well, here's the thing, right? Allegedly, the XDC network can facilitate over 2,000 transactions per second. So it's very amazing. It's lightning fast. The Stellar blockchain I get is also very lightning fast, but this one is as well, in my opinion, right? Very fast as well. Now, some people may think that, $3 for XDC, which is my price target for it during this bull run, is a little bit, out of the box. They think it's too much. They think it's too extreme. Well, again, even though nothing I say is financial advice, why don't I think it's too bad, right? It's because, again, if it were to go to that price, around a 44x from here, market cap considering current circulating supply would be around $47 billion. Again, we've seen even XRP as of right now have a market cap that is well beyond $100 billion. During a fully fledged bull run, I don't see why this won't be the case for something like XDC. Keep in mind, when there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, when we take a look at the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption, not to mention we combine that with the fact that usually altcoins, as a worst case scenario, peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event, which would actually mean around October of, this year, based on the last Bitcoin halving event that happened back in April. When I take a look at stuff like that, my first, analysis is the fact that, okay, first of all, there's a lot of crypto owners, so I think that the bull run could be a lot better than what we saw most recently, right? I think that's nowhere near the peak. Not to mention, also, when I take a look at historical data, I think the bull run is far from over. Each cycle is going to be different. I totally understand that, but I'm paying attention to near the end of this year, and I'm not giving up. An XDC at the price of $3 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think it's that amazing. Really reminds me of XLM. And I think the future is very bright because, of course, the payments market currently, is valued at over $2 trillion. And I already talked about, the massive size in which the global trade and finance could be moving forward. It's a no-brainer for me. I believe in XRP and XLM. And naturally, of course, when I believe in something like that, I'm going to look for other alternatives, much like XDC. And I do like that. And again, $3 during this forum wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's Mali the Captain. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace. Bye.